Welcome to No Place Like Home, the radio show, coming to you on WRXB 1590 AM, 96.5 FM, and Pinellas County Connection TV. This program is presented to you as an opportunity to hear information that can help you fulfill the dream of owning your very own home. We also share information about upcoming special events and programs to help you enjoy the good life in Pinellas County, as well as other items of interest. The sponsor of this program is the Housing Finance Authority of Pinellas County, which offers the first-time homebuyers program. I'm Carmen Lemberg alongside Julian Hills, your host for today's show. Good morning, Julian.
Good morning, Carmen. Can you believe it's already August?
No.
I know, it's like it was January 1st yesterday, and you wake up and you're more than halfway through the year. What's going on?
Do you want to know what's killing me?
What?
All of the Christmas shows that are on TV.
Well, you can't shop too early. Even though it comes the same time every year, people always wait to the last minute.
I am just not into it yet. I'm waiting. I refuse to watch them. It's got to get a little closer for me. I love my countdown to Christmas, but I am just not ready to get into it
The
yet.
countdown will start quicker than you think.
Oh, I start counting down the day after last year.
Oh, really? Well, you're getting closer.
It's the anticipation.
Well,
Let it build.
Speaking of anticipation, we have a great show for you today. We're going to bring you information about programs offered through Pinellas County Department of Human Services. Today, we'll be speaking with Lourdes Benedict, Director of Human Services. Before we begin our discussion, though, Carmen, I know you have a message from our sponsor, the Housing Finance Authority.
As always, don't I? The Housing Finance Authority of Pinellas County is offering the First-Time Homebuyers Program, your key to home ownership, helping people in Pinellas, Pasco, and Polk counties make their dreams of home ownership a reality. The First-Time Homebuyers Program is for individuals who've never owned a home, have not owned a home in the last 3 years, or veterans. The HFA, working through a specialized group of lenders, offers a low rate on its 30-year fixed-rate mortgage, and we can help you with down payment and closing costs as well. I also wanted to let you know that we just added another lender to the Housing Floridians program, and I want to welcome Atlantic Coast Bank. Housing Floridians is a special program for those who are at or below 80% of the area median income. Housing Floridians is a partnership between the Housing Finance Authority, First Home Bank, Center State Bank, and Atlantic Coast Bank. And through the program, a grant is provided in conjunction with assistance through our Home Key program. To get your key to home ownership, visit www.pinellascounty, all one word, .org/HFA as in Housing Finance Authority. For more information or comments about the show, call us at 727-223-6419. Julian?
All right, Carmen, I'm going to introduce our guest now. Like I said before, Lourdes Benedict is Director of Human Services. Lourdes joined the Pinellas County team in 2015 as the Director of Human Services. She's responsible for overseeing several departments, including Human Services, Veteran Services, Justice Coordination, and Consumer Protection. Her team is accountable for 160 contracts and a $68 million budget. Prior to joining the county, she worked for the Department of Children and Families after graduating from college. She served in several management positions over the past 30 years. Ms. Benedict was an operational program administrator for 7 years. During this time, she led the team that redesigned the eligibility system, which is currently being used statewide and is known for the national model. Ms. Benedict's efforts helped save the state over $96 million, while also increasing customer satisfaction and quality. It raised the bar in all areas of performance. She served as the program administrator for the Access program, the Suncoast region, serving 11 counties. Ms. Benedict served as the Community Development Administrator responsible for Pinellas and Pasco counties, overseeing a variety of programs, and was responsible for working with the community-based care child welfare systems in both counties. She served on several boards and committees to improve programs for children and families. Ms. Benedict has presented to audiences across the nation to share the redesigned story. She has had several achievements, including District Employee of the Year, winning the Stellar Showcase, and then leading a team to a second-place worldwide finish. She was a member of the Department of Children and Families Secretary's Executive Leadership Program and is also a certified public manager. Welcome, Lourdes.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Nice to have you. So tell us who and what Human Services is and what you do for Pinellas County residents.
Sure, I'd love to. Human Services is one of the departments of Pinellas County, And what we do for the residents, we do a lot actually for the residents. As you said, Julian, we have under Human Services, we have Consumer Protection, which does a fabulous job of protecting, regulating, investigating, and educating folks on consumer issues, on scams. Lots of work that is being done with human trafficking. We have just recently, when you go get gas, there's been some fraud at the gas pump with some skimmers. So we work very closely with law enforcement on that to help educate individuals. So our Consumer Protection Office is pretty busy. We also have a Veterans Services Office, which is pretty robust. And that office typically helps individuals with claims, with their VA claims, helping them get through that because sometimes it could be somewhat difficult. So we have folks that do that. Again, lots of education, do lots of speaking with individuals to help them through what veterans are eligible for. We also have a very robust healthcare program under our social services umbrella, as well as lots of work that we do with homeless and our Justice Coordination Office.
Yeah, we had them on the show a few months ago.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, your department really covers such a
much.
wide area. And I want to take a look at a couple programs a little more specifically. But
Sure.
first, one of the questions I had, because I get asked this a lot when I'm trying to tell people how to find you, is there one main number that people need to call, or does each area have a specific number that they need to call to get directed to that area?
Good question. I actually appreciate that because we just changed that
Oh.
process. We used to have several numbers, which still work. So if you have any of those numbers still, that's fine. Feel free to use that. But we now have one centralized number for all of the offices that I just listed, and that is 727-464-4200. You can also, of course, find us on the web, which is www.pinellascounty.org/human services.
Okay.
And if you forget that, it's fine. You can just Google Pinellas County Government, and you'll find everything you need on the website.
I actually Google it often, so she's telling the truth.
That's how I find everything, too. So that is good to have. So tell us a little bit about the Adult Emergency Financial Assistance Program. How does it work, and what are the eligibility requirements?
Sure, that is one of the programs I would say I'm the most proud of. I have to say it's been, we just celebrated the 2-year anniversary of the Adult Emergency Financial Assistance Program, also fondly called AFAP. And that was a partnership with Tampa Bay 211, Tampa Bay Cares. And what we did with that, we had approximately $2 million. And we knew that folks were struggling out there in the community, and really adults, because there were some programs already for families and children through the Juvenile Welfare Board. So we created the AFAP program. Basically, all someone needs to do if you are an adult, which means you're 18 years old or older, could be a family as long as the child is 18, even though they're really not a child, right, if you're 18. Just pick up the phone, call 211. Their phone lines can be rather busy because there's lots of folks that need help. So, please be patient. You can leave your information and they will call you back. So what you do is you call 211 if you're having a financial difficulty, some type of emergency once per year. We help individuals. You do have to be a Pinellas County resident, and you do have to have income at 200% of the federal poverty level, which is typically about $23,500 and some odd dollars annually, or over $1,900 monthly for a one-person household. And it goes up in increments the more individuals that live there. So you'll need proof of income, proof of U.S. citizenship, proof of being a resident, and any assets that you have over $1,000, we will need proof of that. That would be money in the bank, those type of assets, not the home that you live in. Basically, again, pick up the phone, let them know what your need is. Most individuals have some type of emergency that happens. For example, they were working just fine, pretty self-sufficient, but living on the edge, paycheck to paycheck. Something happened, could have been a car accident, some illness, end up in the hospital, lose your job, or don't have money coming in for a little bit until you get back on your feet. That's where AFAP, again, through calling 211, can help with your rent assistance. We do a lot of that, a lot of rent payments, a lot of utilities, electric, water. It really has been just a lifesaver for our residents, and just a great program, great partnership with 211.
Yes, I recently met a gentleman not long ago who was helped by the AFAP program, and he couldn't say enough wonderful things about it. It just kept him in his home, and he was able to get out of a bind. So I can attest to how it's affected people in the community. One of the other really great things that you are doing in Human Services are that you have health programs available for residents. Can you tell us about some of those?
Yes, we have the Pinellas County Health Program. And again, folks can come into our office, and it's for individuals who are 18 to 64 years old. A lot of programs out there for children, but this is a need in our county for adults. And once you're 64, then you can get Medicare at 65, so that's why it cuts off at 64.
Makes sense.
And that program actually has lots of help with specialists. If you need to see a cardiologist, for example, we partner with the Department of Health, so they provide all of the medical care, we call them medical homes. We have over 7 in Pinellas County. Basically, any Department of Health is one of our medical homes. And along with specialty care, we also are doing a lot and have done a lot, I would say, in the last 2 years to integrate physical health with behavioral health. We feel that is very important because someone may be experiencing a mental health issue or episode, but they may also be diabetic, have heart coronary disease. So that's where this program has been very helpful for those individuals. Also pays for their prescriptions. Which is huge, a real biggie. What we pay for there, and we have Healthcare for the Homeless program, and with that we have the Bayside Clinic, which is stationed over on 49th Street, over by Safe Harbor and the Court Complex. We built that. It's been over a year now in April, and very busy place. Individuals can go there if you're homeless and get dental help as well as all of your physical needs, just like going to your doctor, except we have dental, which is pretty exciting for us. We also have the mobile medical unit, which is basically a big van that goes out to the different locations and the different shelters, for example, Pinellas Hope, HEP in Clearwater, St. Vincent de Paul. So again, help a lot of people with that mobile medical unit.
So how do people in different locations find the nearest healthcare program to them? Is there a way they can find these things out, or is it just through your Department of Health in your area?
Actually, Julian, they can go to any Department of Health. We have workers that are outposted there from Pinellas County to help them with that. Soon we're going to have it all online, where you can, probably about November, you can just get on any computer, it's on the internet, and apply for the benefit for the healthcare program. Again, also at any Department of Health and at any of our offices. We have one in St. Pete and one in Clearwater, and you can find all of those addresses online or at the phone number that I previously gave.
Perfect.
We'd love to help you with that.
464-4200?
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. So you were touching on homeless there. I know it's a huge issue here in Pinellas County, and your department has many programs that help address these issues. So tell us a little bit more about some of these programs. And one of my concerns is how do you do your outreach to the homeless population? They're difficult to find, so how do we help them to help themselves?
Sure, great question. Again, we do a lot in the homeless arena. Over $9 million, actually, the county has put into this. And let me tell you a little bit about some of the programs and as far as outreach. One of the things that we fund is the street outreach teams. We have several teams throughout Pinellas County that go out and do exactly what you were just talking about. They go and find individuals in a Walmart parking lot, under a bridge, unfortunately. They work with folks in the community very closely with law enforcement. And when they come upon someone who is homeless, they bring together the street outreach individual teams and help those individuals.
Wonderful.
Let them know how to get to a shelter, give them information about programs. They do screenings. We have what's called the coordinated entry system to make sure that everyone is found, is located. How can we help you? So through that coordinated entry, that's where then all the programs start when they're homeless.
Well, that is awesome. Because I've always just wondered that. I mean, it's not like they're sitting there underneath the bridge with a phone and internet connection and all that. And these are the very people we want to reach out and touch and bring in and get them over to the health clinic, get them to other services and stuff. So I had no idea about your teams that were actually out there doing that very thing. That's awesome.
And healthcare is very important, especially when you're homeless. Our statistics have found that they have a greater need for healthcare. Lots of dental issues, coronary, high blood pressure, and lots of mental health issues.
Yes.
When you're living on the streets, it's, as you can imagine, it's very difficult. So because of all of that, we've done a lot of work in figuring out what the gaps are and creating programs. One of the programs, which is under the Adult Emergency Financial Assistance Program umbrella, is the LIFT program. And that is for individuals who are currently in a shelter. And again, that's individuals, not families. And they can't get out of the shelter because maybe they are working, some of them, which I don't think people realize that. They're working, but they can't get that money together for their deposit, right? Some of these deposits are very high.
Yeah, they are.
For electric, for your water, and for your landlord.
I was going to say,
right?
yeah, they're you first month, last month, and deposit. You're stuck.
So with that, we've partnered with the different shelters, and they have case managers that help these individuals gather information, connect them with 211,
Wow.
and help them get out of the shelter.
Wow.
Again, it's been a fantastic program, and that's been about 2 years also, the LIFT program. We also fund many of the shelters, St. Vincent de Paul, HEP in Clearwater, Pinellas Hope. We provide lots of funding for that. Again, our street outreach team that does a fantastic job. There's such a need for that. We also fund the operations of the Bayside Clinic that's for homeless and the mobile medical unit that I mentioned. This year, and it goes to our board next week, is something that we're very excited about, is a rapid rehousing. We've put in over $1 million to help individuals rapidly rehouse. It's exactly what it sounds like. So again, folks are struggling with a deposit, where with low-income housing has been a difficult issue in our county. So this program helps them with a case manager, helps them find a place. We have housing specialists with that program, and gets them up and running and provides some case management to get them started and pay for the things to get into a place to live.
Oh, wow, that's perfect.
That is perfect.
Also support and fund permanent supportive housing for those individuals who need a little extra help. Again, lots of them experience a mental health issue. They may be disabled, a variety of issues, and they need a little extra support. So that's permanent supportive housing that we partner with Catholic Charities in Boley that do a great job. We also know that in order for people to become self-sufficient, they need income, right? And not everyone can work.
That's correct.
Some individuals are disabled, so we fund what's called the SOAR program, which is to help individuals apply for Social Security disability, Social Security income. So we have individuals out there, outposted, working with folks out in the community to help them get that benefit. which of course then would help them with Medicaid, right? So then you're helping them with their healthcare needs that we mentioned is a huge need, as well as some income to help pay for their rent.
So I wanted to ask something about something that's probably really important in our area. Could you tell us a little bit about the Behavioral Health and Age-Friendly Initiative?
Sure, I'd love to. We have a behavioral health pilot that started about a year ago. And that was something that we brought together lots of our partners, and we talked about behavioral health and what's happening in our community. And we realized very quickly that even though we have services, that we needed to do a better job of coordinating those services for individuals. We had lots of people that we call high utilizers of the system.
Okay.
And when I say the system, it's of the Baker Act facilities and of the jail system, people experiencing mental health issues. So we brought a team together. We partnered with Suncoast Center and again, BOLI, because we knew housing was important for individuals, right?
Yes.
And we knew that we wanted to use a housing first approach. People need to be housed, they need to be fed, their basic needs need to be taken care of before they can get the mental health they need or the physical health they need in many situations. So we created the Pinellas Community Empowerment Team, and that is a team that looked at the high utilizers of our system and how can we help them so it's not a revolving door of being Baker Acted. The Baker Act facility shouldn't be where people go to look for help first. That should be the last resort. So this team has wrapped around services. Sometimes they talk to individuals and a therapist, psychiatrist on a daily basis. Again, they help them with finding a place to live, paying for where they're going to live, any therapy they may need, really follow them closely. And it's been very exciting, first of all, to find the individuals. We thought that would be difficult. The team, again, partnering with law enforcement. We have some people who really have just been superstars in this program, developing it, finding the people, supporting them. We have people who have been homeless, who have been severe mental health issues, who are now housed, who are doing well, who are going to what we call Vincent House, which is a group facility where you can go on a daily basis. They help you with resume writing, help you find a job.
Wonderful.
It has been just an amazing program.
Sounds like it. And could you tell us a little bit about Pinellas' Age-Friendly Initiative?
Sure. We were designated recently as an age-friendly community just a couple of months ago. And basically what that means is that our board, our community stands behind our aging population and wants to do a better job for them all throughout the county, whether it be what our sidewalks are like when people are walking, or whether it be you have an elderly person that you're helping to support. Where do they find resources? So we have partnered with many folks in the community that work in the aging arena. Some that didn't even realize, what they could do for aging, brought them in to talk about what are some of the gaps, what are some of the issues, and what can we do in Pinellas County about that.
Exactly.
One of the things we noticed right away is the issue of food insecurity. So we partner with Meals on Wheels and have provided them close to $100,000 because they have a huge waiting list. So it's something that we continue to work on and that we're very proud of our age-friendly Pinellas community.
Our show's called No Place Like Home, and, one of the things that people don't realize is that all of these quality of life issues that Human Services is very dedicated to taking care of in the area, and you see that, you are very instrumental in finding people a home and making sure that they're comfortable in this community. And, that is one of the things that when I was reading about the Age-Friendly Initiative that I thought was very interesting, that you're continuing to make sure that those residents have a great quality of life as they, live in Pinellas County, and it just gets better, So that's it's
wonderful.
It's very wonderful. So one of the things that we had a guest on our show back in 2015 telling us about the Family Housing Assistance Program. Is that program still around?
Yes, and that was probably Armanda, our manager.
She's awesome.
She is wonderful. I had a feeling that's who we were talking about. But Armanda and her team run the Family Housing Assistance Program, fondly known as FHAP. And with that program, we help families. And what we do is we help them with case management. We help them find a place to live. We help them with rent, deposits, moving in costs for approximately 6 months to get them up and running and on their feet. We help them with financial literacy, help them with daycare. We partner with the Early Learning Coalition. The Pinellas Housing Authority helps us with vouchers for these individuals, help them with jobs. Again, help them be self-sufficient so that they're not homeless, so that they have a better quality of life, speaking of quality of life, and that their children also have a better quality of life and, can be self-sufficient.
So important.
It's great to know it's doing good. I know when she was here on the show, she was telling us that it was just starting and kind of, didn't know quite where it was going to go, had high hopes, and so I'm excited to learn that it took off the way she imagined it would, and that you're able to help people and keep going.
That's one of my favorite things about this job is that we have the flexibility to see what the needs are in the community and then create programs and
adjust
and move the bar for families and our residents.
That is just so important.
And it seems like there's a great network out in the community of different partnerships that are helping you sort of achieve this goal.
Yeah, definitely, one of our taglines is with partners we can do more, and it's so true. We can't do this alone. They can't do it alone. So
together we can achieve so much.
So much.
It's just heartwarming to know that there's so many things out there that can help people and ways to reach people and draw them in, and just, like I say, the quality of life issues that we have and keeping it nice for everybody, no matter who you are, where you are. And that's exciting. We've covered a lot of information in such a short time today. Once more, where's the best place for residents to find information about the department?
Sure, you can reach us via phone at 727-464-4200, or on our website. You can, of course, Google Pinellas County Government and find everything there, or specifically for Human Services at www.pinellascounty.org/human services.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you so much. We only have a couple of moments left, but like Carmen said, you've just given us so much great information about all the different services of Pinellas County Human Services. So anyone who's in need should definitely contact Lourdes and her staff, because they're very willing and able to help, and it's so wonderful to hear about all the good things you do. So thank you for joining us today. And of course, thank you for listening to WRXB 1590 AM and 96.5 FM. We look forward to having you join us next month. If you missed any part of the show or like to view past shows, you can check out our website or catch us on YouTube. I'm Julian Hills.
And I'm Carmen Lemberg.
Thanks for tuning in, and remember, make it a great day.